Is it true you refused an audition with Brad Pitt and George Clooney?
I struggled with anxiety. I've had depression in very early years of my life.
But do you ever realize, do you ever speak to yourself and say, Reem, I think I'm doing too much?
It's scientifically proven that the emptier you are and the less busy you are and mentally occupied, that's when anxiety, because anxiety is driven by negative thoughts. They are very much dependent and running away with the word women empowerment. I hate this word. Normal is to be socially anxious. Normal is not to say your opinion. Normal is to go to a job you hate. Everyone, almost everyone I know, hates their job.
How about the type of people you'll never tolerate? I'll go first, a narcissist.
I have few people who I refuse to work with. Like even if I got few projects with them, I said, no, thank you. I refuse the project.
Happier with age?
There is no happy.
Test. All right. So the last time we did one of these things 2 or 3 months ago, you mentioned in the beginning of the episode that you were super, super stressed. Now, the person in the beginning of that episode doesn't reflect the person who has been in my studio for the past 15, 20 minutes. It's been happiness, it's been giggles, it's been just good vibes. So is that a front? How's Reem really doing behind the big smile that we see on your face?
Okay, see, when you're usually asking a woman this question, you really know what time of the month you're talking to her. It's a cycle hormonal thing. Don't trust what we say.
At an altitude of 37,000 feet, we soar, with a rich legacy of honoring our guests and a unique style that has resonated with the world for 78 years. We carry the name of our country on every journey and across every sky. We are Saudi. We welcome you in our own way. We shape our present and build our future. Saudia, our name and country, our style and approach, striving for excellence in everything we do. This is how we fly.
So, well, okay, it is true. It is hormonal. I mean, we're really driven by hormones in general, especially females. But at that time, I was really stressed because I was in a point where I really wanted to know what path I'm taking. I was kind of in the middle of two essential, crucial roads of my life. Am I following this or am I going through that? But I think I kind of made my mind on what I want to do. So I think if we're going back to the questions, so my stress levels are much lower at the moment. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Because the road or your career path is clearer now than it was a few months ago?
Yeah. On so many levels. I'm not just an actress. I'm an actress. I'm a business owner, entrepreneur. I have a couple of things in my plate that not everyone knows about. I don't announce it. I don't much talk about it, but yeah, I think I was in that road. Should I stick to that more? Should I give more time to acting? Should I do this? And it was overwhelming at that time when we did that show.
Mm-hmm. You do a lot. You do a lot. And we're going to get into integrative medicine, maybe gardening as well, a couple other hats that you wear. But do you ever realize, like, do you ever speak to yourself and say, Reem, I think I'm doing too much?
No. I actually believe that I'm so against the Arabic saying that actually, I'm going to translate it, it's what they say, if you do more than one thing, you're a liar or something like that. But I don't believe in that. I truly believe that the brain capacity and what we're capable as humans of doing is beyond what we even know. So I think no. Actually, they say it's real. The papers today, they actually prove that if you learn something new every 2 months, that works on your longevity and the strength of your brain and the low risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. So no, I think the trick here is really how to balance between them and to know which path you actually choose as your main, and the rest are just similar to that. But it's not like, oh no, stick to just being a doctor or stick to just being an actress or stick to, because you never know which one really hits. So it's good to have more than one stream of income and more than one stream of whether call it hobby, whether call it something handy, something artistic, whether you're a painter, you're a crafter, you're a carpenter. So I think, no, I've never said, Reem, that's too much, stick to 2 or 1 or no. I lead by heart, I guess. So
I've noticed that when I left my 9 to 5 a year ago and started doing this full time, I have a few extra hours during the day. So when I actually get a stressful day, it feels like the end of the world. But in retrospect, that stressful day is probably the least stressful day if I compare it against what my corporate life was like.
of course.
So
I know the hours are very, having much, even when you have a very stressful day. So let's say you're no longer in corporate, right? But it's a stressful day between family and kids and home and whatever entrepreneur you're doing, whatever a new businesses you're doing. It's stressful, but you know why? You know that you're doing it for you. Like, if you want to call it, it's like you are your own slave, and you're happy with that.
Yep.
But when you're actually giving your all, time, energy, effort, lack time with your kids, traveling without them, leaving, doing, at the end of the day, you're actually pouring in the wrong raised bed. It's not for you. It's not for you.
building someone else's dream.
Yeah, building someone else's dream. It is true, you're paid for it. That's given, but it's just not enough because we're not only made for that. So I think it's really, it's a thin line. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who would love, they are made to be 9 to 5. They can't strive or grow out of this 9 to 5. They want to go, give everything they have, come back, lock their phone, do whatever they want to do with their lives. So, but this is the norm, if you may say.
Hearing you saying what you just said, I landed on what it is that I'm trying to communicate to you. Laziness breeds more laziness. Proactivity and productivity breeds more proactive and productiveness.
I agree. And I tell you what, the more active you are, and if you're an ADHD person like me, and you are a very hyperactive person, emptiness could really destroy you. Yeah. I can't. I have to get myself busy. I don't care what it is, even if I just go for a run in the neighborhood. But if I just sit, I can't do it. I start going into depression.
Does anxiety come out of that?
Oh, big time. Big time. Big time. Actually, one of the main drivers of anxiety, we're talking paper now, we're talking science. It's scientifically proven that the emptier you are and the less busy you are and mentally occupied, that's when anxiety, because anxiety is driven by negative thoughts. And people's thoughts, usually when it's in silent, we think negative. We're humans. We're made to survive. We're always in a survival mechanism. So we always think, what if something happened? oh, this must go wrong. This could happen. So we're always in the negative thought, and that will accumulate time over time over time. Anxiety is born. So, of course, I agree. I fully agree.
It'll get you, by the way, if you let it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I started calling it name. I have a name for my anxiety. We're friends. We talk. Because if you don't really accept it and allow it in, it will always freak you out. It will always scare you.
Why don't they teach mental health in school?
Oh, you don't want me to start.
Let's run through the gears.
Okay, so I think it's not only, I think a lot of things would go under mental health, including marriage. I mean, I totally believe that couples should have a mental course diagnosis before marriage.
Amen.
I swear.
Absolutely.
Not because they're crazy or anything. It's because you need to know if you are mentally resilient for a relationship. Because we have, can you imagine? I mean, just take a look at what we just said. We have anxieties with our own selves, without a partner, without anyone else to add on us. Just you and yourself, me, myself, and I. And my brain is going here and striking here. Imagine another brain comes into the equation, and then, oh wow, so I have to deal with my anxiety, and you're adding on top of it, learning how to deal with your partner. So I think mental health is crucial, especially in the young age. It will teach you how to tolerate, how to have patience, how to understand, how to accept. And this will actually unfold in the rest of your path of your life. It will just unfold with you through your mid-school years, high school, college, into relationships, work relationships, friend relationships, parents, being a parent. So this all needs a lot of mental resilience. And you cannot have it by just being one little egoistic piece of, you know what.
Because we all come with our traumas and complexities. We all, it's not no fault of our own. Like I come with it, my wife comes with it, you come with yours, your husband comes with yours, and to get two people to agree on something and then procreate and agree on how we want to raise our kids, how we want to spend our money, where we want to spend our summers. But unfortunately, 99% of those who get married today, and I'm guilty of that as well, marry out of love or because she looks cute.
And it's funny, all the above will just fade.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
Yeah.
It's just, it will just fade. I mean, beauty won't last. And even if it lasts for a quite good time, the person who's involved in the relationship won't see it like an outsider anymore because you're just used to it every day. Mm-hmm. So it's no longer that beauty. And it's funny how people actually get married because of an emotion. Because love is an emotion. You never grow an organization or a business over emotions. Yeah. And we start a family and have new kids, bring them into this life over a decision, over an emotion. And emotions go away. So I was like, the other day I was sitting with my cousins, and one of my cousins is getting married. And so I was like, she's like, oh, he's so handsome. And he's so, and the car he has. And I was like, I just can't look at her. And I was like, Fulana, did you ask him if he loved kids? Because I know she does. Mm. And she's like, she was surprised by my question. She's like, why? And I was like, because it's really important for you. So maybe you want 4 or you want 5, and maybe he's okay with 1. And hell will strike once you guys open this conversation. Have you ever thought about it? It's like, no. Have you guys thought about what school would you like them to go to? Is it like an international school? Because I know he's very strict. So he's more the kind of guy who wants a very traditional, restrict, probably school. So he doesn't. She's very liberal, and maybe you want your daughter to be in the American school, which is mixed, right? So there's no gender segregation. So do you want that? Does he want that? Did you discuss when your daughter hit puberty and she's probably 16? Are you okay with her not wearing abaya? Is he okay with that? Have you guys discussed these things? And she was like, the answer is what shook me.
By the time we get
By
there.
the time we get there.
It's awful.
And that's the recipe of disaster. Depending on time to heal things in marriage is the recipe of disaster. Like, I'll marry her. She's uncovered. She's not veiled. Or she's totally liberal. She wears bikinis. Okay, what are you going to do about it? When we get married, she'll get over it. She'll stop it. Who told you? How did you base this outcome and decision?
Yeah.
Have you guys went through it? I mean, hey, cool. If you guys went through it and she accepted, hallelujah. But did you guys go through it? No. So I swear to God, it's like they're hypnotized when they get married. I swear it's like they're hypnotized. They're blindfolded and getting into this, I don't know, party and the, the ceremony and who's going to do the dress and
So short term.
so superficial. It's a killer.
I think that's why divorce rates are. I think we crossed the 50% mark.
Oh yeah, we did. I mean, it's a worldwide crisis now.
But Saudi wasn't like that 30 years ago.
No, because civilization didn't really hit so hard here at that time. Things were more original. Things were like tolerate more, handle. Women these days, unfortunately, and men, but maybe women more because they kind of like went into this ballgame new. They are very much dependent and running away with the word women empowerment. I hate this word or feminism, right? Because they are taking the worst characteristics of what a woman empowerment should be, or feminism.
I love the movement, though.
I have no problem. I have no problem. It depends what you love about the movement and what movement. I'm not against men. I'm not like, oh, the hell with men. We are suffocating because of men. Men are bad. Generalizing, usually, is the language of the non-intellect. I hate generalizing.
Well said.
Because you cannot generalize on any of the genders. Not females, not males. You can't say the problem is here. It's very much it's a society problem. Males were grown by females believing that they are overpowering them because women were weaker.
Mm-hmm.
So how would a strong woman raises a really female respecting male? She's incapable. He is watching her being ran over by his dad, whether in her career, her life. So you can't blame the male because mothers, especially in the Saudi society, in the Gulf society, in the Arab world, even in Lebanon, Syria, Morocco, Algeria, whatever, you name it, they are more having this hollow, goddish respect when she has a son. So he grows up with, oh my God, issues, mommy issues, but in a different way. He's like, oh my God, the world revolves around me. So you need to be another mommy for me because my mommy was treating me like I'm the only one in the world. And he expects that from his wife. So I do understand that women have suffered. Women in the Arab world have went through a lot. There's a lot of abuse. There's a lot of negligence. There's a lot of humiliation. I understand. But I'm against the exaggeration of the women empowerment to a point where the female wants to take the male's position. You can't. You can't. I'm not talking career-wise. I'm not talking professionally. I'm talking as humans, as creatures. He can never be a mom. And you can never be that male. So males A male energy should have a male energy, and a female energy should stay in her female energy. I'm not talking about rights. Rights, we both have the same rights.
Yep.
But I'm talking as humans. You can't just try to be a male. You can't. And that's affecting relationships. That's affecting marriages. That's raising the divorce rate. Because believe it or not, I can never be my husband in so many levels. And he can never substitute me on many levels. So I believe that no one is an enemy with anyone. Actually, we just need to coherently be together and blend. Females and males are supposed to blend. No one is against anyone here.
And not compete.
No. There is nothing to compete about. Competing in such an area is stupidity. Because what am I going to compete?
Becomes toxic.
It's very toxic. Yeah. And that's why the structure of the families is collapsing. Because she's like, go ahead, I can do it. You think I can't take the kids and live without you? Oh, hell yeah, you can't live with... A house without a father is problematic. And a house without a mother is problematic.
True.
So he shouldn't be okay. Go, I'll have someone else. I'll get married. It's not compatible at all. Mm-hmm. And that's a problem. That's a problem that people and families are not really seeing clearly.
I can understand why this problem is an issue now in the time that we live in, because for the longest time women weren't able to do everything that they can do today. And now it's like a kid in a candy store effect, where they want to do it all, they want to do it to the best of their abilities, and they want to show that they are worthy, capable, and can do it as good as, if not better than, the men. I think when you see a lot of that coming from many women in Saudi specifically, you then have this indulgence of women empowerment, which is rubbing you the wrong way. I can see what you mean by it now.
Yeah, very much.
But yeah, man, women, father, husband, yin and yang.
We need both.
You need both, yeah, for the sake of the kids, and then to grow up in a house where they aren't so affected or scarred.
Even for the sake of you as an individual without kids.
Yeah.
I would need my yang. He would need his yang. We need that. We need that energy. Mm-hmm. We're made to have that energy. A female is made to have a male energy around her, and vice versa. So I'm even talking without marriage, without kids. Mm. It is crucial, my energy and my father's energy, without me being married even. Mm. So it's important to have my dad's energy. It's important to have my mom's energy. It's important to have, it's healthy. It's how we're made as a healthy, balanced society.
Yeah. Totally agree.
الآن ليس الجديد الأفضل على الإطلاق، نكهة قوية، كرمشة مثالية.
You studied integrative medicine, and it fascinates me because even when I get a headache, I do not reach for the Advil or the Tylenol or whatever. But certainly a field that I can't imagine that Big Pharma and integrative medicine are best friends, nor do they have quarterly meetings. How did you enter that world, and what can you tell us about it?
Okay, so when it comes to integrative medicine, I come from a family that is, well, most of them are has a medical background. Most of them are doctors, surgeons in the medicine field, hence the Habib family. But actually, there's another part there into business and entrepreneurs, but it's just very, very minor. The rest are into medicine. So I wanted to be a doctor, but I've always felt something was wrong with medicine 2.0. And see, there are two strategies in medicine. There is 2.0 and 3.0. So 2.0 is the strategy of trying to push your lifespan as much as possible, managing you with a disease that already took place. 3.0 is us trying to push your lifespan without disease. So we're not trying to, handle it with whatever it has. But the functional medicine and the usual medicines, what we know, they only strike in when the person has already been struck by a disease. Other than that, you're cool. And 3.0 is more preventive, and that kind of attracted me more. And that's what integrative medicine is all about. Call it wellness, call it alternative medicine. So we believe that we should work on longevity without a disease. Because living with a disease, no matter how long a person could live, you're not in your well-being. And that's not fun. So you imagine two people, one in his 70s or 80s with cancer, but he had cancer when he was 50, but we managed to keep him alive, right? But his life is disastrous.
Wasn't living.
He wasn't living. He's alive, but not living. So while the other 70-year-old or 80-year-old still goes to the gym, eats healthy, and so this is what integrative medicine is all about, is more like preventing and taking care of the person way before. It's more of a human part. Now, in medicine or in functional medicine, there's a lot of doctors. I mean, we can't skip an eye on these people and the doctors, and especially surgeons, are when they're mostly needed. Because, hey, when you splint a bone, then you need a doctor, you need surgery, right? When you have a meniscus tear and it's not working, you need a doctor to repair it. When you have a disconnected shoulder you need a doctor. So you need surgeons. I have great respect for surgeons. Not that only my dad is a surgeon, but I love surgeons because I really believe we can't just let go of them. But in medicine, I loved that part, the integrative medicine. And that's, I took this in, when COVID striked, I thought, you know what, I'm not just going to sit doing nothing, going back to sitting and doing nothing. So I studied with, in an online school of integrative medicine with Sydney, Australia. And it has been a different life since then on all levels. I mean, my mom was sick. She had brain cancer, which is weird. And I worked on a lot of things to at least have her peacefully, because her brain was already cooked by the therapy they gave her, the radiations and all. So there was no saving there. But I worked a lot, whether it's on Remah, my son, whether it's with Rawh. So I use integrative medicine on daily basis in my household, with people, some patients, which is a very good thing, because we work on preventing and making you live as better as you can. And it's a great thing. Pharma is... See, we can't discard that pharma has a part that we might want, like especially with people who are, they're just dying. Whether we like it or not, they're dying. So at least you can make it easier with some calming pills, or you kind of let them go smoothly, just cover their pain, subside it as much as possible. But there's a lot of things that are unfair in pharma. I mean, especially in medicine. Medicine did not, the medicine we know, the 2.0, did not study the female thoroughly. So they never knew what a female is. They don't know how to deal when she's in menopause, perimenopause, premenopause. They don't even know strokes in females. Like when they used to have a female that's about to have a heart attack, they can't tell, because the symptoms doesn't really always mimic the symptoms with males. So they send her home and then she dies, because most of the studies were done over males and not females. So they're going through this medicine all over again to try to understand women more, and to know the health of a woman more. And that's just something makes me so happy. So you reminded me about the pharma. I was passing by one of the pharmacies here, and farms, thinking of gardening.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So I was passing by a pharmacy and I was like, I think I took a cream or shampoo or something, and I went over to the cashierist, and then the doctor was like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. He's like, do you want Ozempic, or anyone wants Ozempic? And I'm like, wait, why would I want Ozempic? What's going on? And I was looking at myself, do I look like I need Ozempic? I was like, why? And he was like, no, because it's back in the market. And Mo, that was a shock. One, I did not know, I'm no aware that Ozempic is over the counter. Like you can go and buy it.
In the States, is that the case?
No, I don't know about the States. I don't think you can, but maybe
it should be something that a doctor prescribes to you, right?
It should be, because it is done. The studies over Ozempic are done under a certain criteria, which are diabetics. So the pancreas is not working as good. The liver is not doing ketosis. The body is not doing very well. So Ozempic might work just fine. But I mean, girls these days, fashionistas, models, they're going into that. Actresses, people who just want to lose weight, they don't want to do the effort, quote unquote laziness. They're getting an Ozempic. Even 18-year-old girls are taking it, who are overweight, and they're just hitting themselves with Ozempic. What they don't know is that we need muscle mass for longevity, right? The more muscle mass you have, now it's proven, we have it, the more muscle mass you have, the higher your rate of living, the less risks of all diseases, right? So the normal weight loss, let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. So the normal weight loss should be 15 fat and 5 muscle mass, because you can't just lose fat, right? Yep. What's happening with Ozempic, they're doing DEXA scan before and after using the Ozempic. What they lose is 2/3 of muscle mass and 1/3 of fat.
Wow.
Which means they're getting lighter, but they're getting fatter. So it's what they call skinny fat, and that's the most dangerous thing, because fat is a great survival mechanism. The body accumulates fat on your skin, on your derma, so it won't go and cover your liver, so you won't have fatty liver. So be very thankful if you have an outside fat and it's not on your heart, not on your liver, not on your organs. What's going on? You just want to go thin because it's a trend, because you want to look lighter, but you're sicker on the inside.
That's terrible.
And that's terrible. And I don't know, honestly, why are all the pharmacies allowed to sell it? Because there are girls without prescriptions, girls without parent control or parent supervision. They're getting the Ozempic, taking the shot, and you never know what happens. So many fashionistas, by the way, they went into coma when they took it, because they're normal people. You're normal. You're not supposed to take a diabetic medicine. And I really don't understand.
There's not enough attention on this issue.
No.
It's a big problem.
No, there isn't enough attention. And honestly, I would love for the Ministry of Health to take a look at this, because this is serious. I mean, we should put rules and regulations for kids not even to be allowed to have fillers or Botox. Or do beauty surgeries at all. They're not supposed to have been operated over surgically, only because she doesn't like her hip, or if you don't have a medical condition, you shouldn't be capable of doing an operation until you're probably 22 or 25. Yeah. But I don't think, because I know, I go to this doctor that I have these, they do this derma cleaning and facial cleaning and whatever. And when I talk to her and she knows my view of these things, she tells me, Reem, I get mothers coming in with their 12, 13, and 15-year-olds to do Botox. Her face is not even fully developed. The structure, the bones are not fully grown, and they have fillers, they have Texas jaw, whatever it is. How is that even allowed? And no one can say anything. They can just go to any clinic, any beauty clinic, pay the money, and just get the job done.
That needs regulation.
It needs regulation. This is not acceptable on all levels. It's not acceptable. If we actually want to have a real society, real, original society, we want people to grow with strong-minded women who trust how they look. I'm not talking about constructive operations. I'm not talking about someone who has a default. I'm not talking about a person who had a car accident and has to fix her nose. I'm talking about, I just want to look like Kim Kardashian.
Luxury. Yeah, luxury move.
As if Kim Kardashian is beautiful. Like, I don't know where the hell they got that from. As if, I swear to God, as if. So even the beauty standards are ruined today. Are ruined.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
I'd hate to think how many of these young girls are doing it for acceptance, or for attention.
Most are.
Just the wrong reasons, really.
Yeah.
جديد. اكسر الروتين مع أطباقنا الجديدة من بيتزا هات جدة. بيتزا هات جدة، ذوق طعم الثقة معنا.
You're best known for being an actor. Is the official term now actor, whether it's male or female?
Yeah.
I don't want to be cancelled.
No, I think it is. I mean, even on Instagram.
They dropped actress.
Yeah, they just actor.
Actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
No longer.
It was not okay for you when you started off, probably, and today you're being celebrated on red carpets. How do you compare both sides of the coin?
So when I started, we were probably 2, 3 in the market. Not much.
What year?
2010. Yeah.
So recent.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's really funny that it was never a dream. Like, I never grew up being an actress. I never grew up wanting to be an actress. I grew up wanting to be a performing artist. I love singing, performing, dancing. I was into that area more. So acting wasn't really even though I was an actress since I was a kid, like I would imitate, make funny clips within the family. I was that person, more of into that, but I never took it serious. So when that happened, it was like, oh my God, was that the path I was supposed to be at for a very long time? It was hard. It was very skeptical. It was full of bumps. It was a very bumpy road. But to be very honest, it wasn't really hard to prove yourself. Still not. But
wasn't hard to prove yourself?
Yeah, it wasn't hard to prove that you're a good actress. It wasn't hard.
Because it came so naturally to you?
Yeah, I guess. Like this is funny, but I have a lot of people, like, when we go to sets, or like, did you read? I was like, no. You didn't read? No. So, are you ready? Yes, I am. So I act and I finish, and so, and then we sit with the director, and then the director goes, so wait, who did you know, who was schooling you the past couple of months? I mean, who were you looking into? What movies were you watching to kind of get to where you are today? And I'm like, none. And they were like, what? I'm like, none. It's like, I can't lie and say I've been watching these schools, and I don't, because it really, really comes natural. Really comes naturally to me. Thank God. I'm blessed. And it was hard in terms of trying to convince families. It was hard. And, you know, as a Saudi female. It was very difficult to be on screens. And, you know, the film industry is more of a corrupt industry to parents, because what they've heard and known that, oh my God, to reach, you're going to have to, you know, kiss some ass and be very cute to people. And that's really, wasn't really the case. So it was hard in that area, but not hard proving yourself. So yeah, but today, it's hard on another level. It's actually 2010 was easier because your expectations were limited. Now your expectations are really high, and you don't even know if they're going to be met.
Yeah.
You know, that's disappointing.
And more people doing it. Competition, which is good.
Okay, I'm going to sound a bit vain now. I don't see competition. It's not really competition. Competition usually is when something is happening with the same level of capabilities and with the same level of environment. What's happening today is that there's a lot of people in the industry, very little who knows their shit. Very, very little. Very, I'm talking. And there isn't anything to be competitive about, because if you come and ask me and say, Reem, have you ever felt jealous of a role that a colleague of yours took it and you were like, oh, I wish I did it instead of her, for example? I'm talking females now, because that's the area where I want to talk more about. So I look and I try to dig, and no, not one role, not one show, female driven, that I wished I was on. Not even from the ones I've done. I mean, there isn't that competitive work. If you come and tell me from the Arab world, that's a completely different conversation. I would tell you, I would have loved played, I love her. Shout out to Mona Wasif, the Syrian legendary actress. I would have loved to do her role in Al-Hayba, in Musalsal Al-Hayba, the series called Al-Hayba. I would have loved to do Karis Bashar in Nar bin Nar, Fire by Fire or something. I would love to have done, so there's a lot of things I would love to have done Mona Zeki in Al-Wasaya. There's her series that blew everything, the world, last Ramadan. So yes, there are amazingly women-driven series in the Arab world, but unfortunately, we haven't had anything like that in the Saudi entertainment business. Now, would you tell me, if you were a guy, are there series that hit and you would want it to be one of them? I tell you, definitely. I would want it to have to been Yaqub al-Farhan in Rashash. I would want it to be one of the guys in Sikkat Safar. I would have wanted to be Bithanawiyat al-Nasim, the one that just came out. I was in it, but it was a very minimal female role. So the problem here is very obvious. We have quite good series that are male-driven, non-female. Non-female, no. I know people like to say, no, there is, and we're doing a great job. I hate that. No. Females, no. Because if there were, it will hit. Mm-hmm. You will hear about it. You heard about Rashash. Yep. You heard about Sattar. You heard about Mandub al-Layl. Mm-hmm. You heard about Ras Bras. You heard about... there's no way to hide it. Social media is so strong today that if something really made a difference or something actually had people head turned, you'll hear about it. There is no female.
May this be the spark of entering that space that is untapped. You know, just hearing you say that maybe this can be the beginning of putting something together for a female in a leading role for it to turn heads.
We're trying. The problem is a little bit bigger than that. Producers, they just want to sell. They don't care, honestly. Most of them. Now, there are some very good producers in Saudi. Just popped into my head few, but mostly are just salesmen. They just want to get the tire rolling, I guess.
So a woman starring would not sell?
No, I'm not talking about that. They can't. They don't have the capacity to do that because there aren't enough or proper scripts that are female driven. Why? Because most writers are males.
Okay, that's the problem.
So a male, no matter how good, he won't be so capable of writing for a female.
Absolutely.
Like a third dimensional character of a female. So they can write, you can just know so much about a female unless you're really in that world or you did your job.
Yeah.
So let's say you did a very good job reading, working, analyzing a female, going into a female psychology. I mean, in the US, in France, in Iran, the Iranian cinema, the Turks, the French, the Greek.
The Turks have really pulled away recently.
Oh.
They've become mainstream.
I don't watch American anymore. For the past 4 years, I only watch Turkish. I speak the language, so that makes it probably easier, but I love the depth they have. I'm not talking about the silly series because everywhere in the world there are this 300 episodes, garbage, whatever. I don't care. I'm not talking about this Turkish series. I'm talking about the good stuff, like on Netflix, some good stuff on Bleu TV, like El Cuisson. There are few that are really good. Really good. Like airtight writing. Like it's beautiful. Nicely written, well driven, character driven, a character with a flaw, a character. There are so many layers within the series. We miss that even in the male writing in Saudi, but in the female, it's almost not there.
So that's the bar that you're hoping Saudi cinema can be inspired of.
Yeah, I'm not only talking about cinema. I'm talking cinema, TV,
Film
platform,
industry,
the film, the entertainment industry in Saudi. I wish we focus more on females and we focus more. We have females, so I don't want this to be misinterpreted. So we have females in all shows, but they're just an add-on. They're not well-layered characters.
Yeah.
So they're just on top of the roof,
Decoration.
It's a decoration. Props.
You shouted out the Turkish scene, French scene, probably the Egyptian.
I'm not talking about the Arab. The Arab world is amazing. Egyptians are doing spectacularly unbelievable. The Syrians are kings in that.
They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
But my point is, you haven't mentioned the great and powerful Hollywood. Does that area interest you? What do you have to say about what they do there?
I might sound a bit weird when it comes to Hollywood because everyone in the industry, when you ask them about Hollywood, they just say, "Oh my God, if I can just reach there." If I can just become nominated or known or seen or work with Hollywood actors and actresses. It's not a very beautiful world.
So I hear.
No, it's not at all. And to me, they're not the bar.
Who is the bar?
Egyptians, Syrians, and Lebanese now with them. But I mean, in terms of great acting, Egyptians or Syrians, to me, in the Arab world, is the bar. To me, I'd rather be in an Egyptian film series, in a Syrian film series, even in a Persian, even in a Turkish, French, but Hollywood really comes last of the list. I really don't care.
Is it true you refused an audition with Brad Pitt and George Clooney?
Oh my god.
Done my research.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me correct that.
Sure.
So it's not an audition with Brad Pitt and George Clooney. It's an audition for a film produced by George Clooney and Brad Pitt and acted by Brad Pitt in the film. Yes, it is true. Tabloids. I'll tell you what, I did not refuse, per se. I wasn't that interested. Let me put it that way. So I had my agent talk to me. I was shooting in Abu Dhabi. They called me. They're like, Reem, I want you to have this. It should be done by tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm busy. I'm shooting. I don't know. She's like, Reem, I know you're in the hotel. You're back. You're not shooting. So just do the goddamn audition and send it. This is a one lifetime opportunity. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, why are you not taking this so serious? I was like so cool about it because it's not something that really attracts me. Yeah, I might sound really funny. Diamonds don't attract me at all. I'm not one of those girls who would love to have a diamond gift or baguette, or I'm not interested in that. So she was like, do it. I was like, listen, I promise you I'll do it tomorrow. If I know they can't pull till tomorrow, I know it's a deadline tonight. So I said, listen, I can do it tomorrow. And she's like, I'll get an exception. So she goes and sends an email to the team of George Clooney and Brad Pitt to actually extend my audition till the second day. But I turned her down. I did not do the audition. I'm like, I did not feel it. She's like, what? I was like, I did not feel it. She's like, can you explain? What do you mean by I did not feel it? And I'm like, just as simple as that. I did not feel it. And I'm not dying really to be with George Clooney and Brad Pitt. Hey, thumbs up to them.
Fair enough.
I like them as people, but I'm not like, I don't know. I just don't, it's not the thing that, I'm very cultural. I'm very Arabian.
Yeah.
I'm very Arabian. My blood is too Arabian.
Proud.
I'm very proud. I'm a very proud Arab. I'm a very proud Saudi. I'm a very proud person in my skin, in my roots, in my... I'm not starving to kind of like duplex with any other nation. Yeah. I'm not dying to be part of Hollywood. I'm not dying. No. I want them to die to be part of us. So I'm that person.
Some of the best shit I've ever heard. You're not distracted by the complexities of West is best.
No. No, West is rust. No.
I get often misconstrued that you started this podcast because you're trying to emulate the Americans and pretend to be one of them. And I was like, if you listen long enough, besides a 10-second snippet on Instagram, on TikTok, you'd realize that the point of my message is to educate those who are unfamiliar with how we do things here in Saudi Arabia, because their media sure as hell isn't going to tell them good things about us. And now through this decentralized new media, we can tell the world about us as opposed to them telling them about us. We can now own the narrative.
Of course. That's one of the things that I really love. And in another show as well, I was criticized speaking more English than really Arabic. Or I use a lot of English when I speak in general. And people were like, oh, she's trying to be an American, and generalizing again. But people don't really know who I am until they're really with me.
Yeah.
Because I grew up abroad. I lived abroad. It is very normal for me to mix And I mean, here I'm trying to really hold myself not to have Arabic jumping in, and maybe Turkish and a little German and a little French of the languages I know. And
You speak German and French, huh?
yes,
How many languages do you speak? 5?
6.
Mashallah, that's incredible. Spanish as well?
No, Spanish was never.
It's like the only one left.
Yeah, I need to do Spanish probably.
So how did you learn German?
I was born in Pakistan, between Pakistan and Afghanistan, so I learned Urdu and a bit Pishto, which is Afghanian.
Okay.
And then we lived in Germany for 4 years. My dad was doing his Facharzt, which is like a higher level of medicine. And I learned German there.
How old were you?
I was in my teens. I was studying high school there.
Okay.
And then I went to the States, but my English was like, I learned English before Arabic when I was a baby, because I was in this British-American compound in Pakistan where my dad was. And the first thing I saw was Sesame Street. So I was like, I grew up, with an American accent rather than just English as a language. So I worked in France when I did my undergrad, and I worked for the human rights for a year, and I picked up French because it's when you're in Europe, it's just so easy. Yeah. And I'm a language magnet, like I love languages.
Oh, I can tell.
So I picked French as well, and Turkish. Funny enough, is since I started giving up on the Saudi usual summer luxury trips, and I became Istanbul fanatic. That's when I decided to learn Turkish, and I just picked it up from series. I can read right now Turkish, and I speak it fluently.
Yeah. Where were some of the places in Europe that you no longer go to?
Okay, it's not. I don't mind going to it, but it's not the thing. It's one of the things that changed in me. I no longer want to do this, this usual Saudi luxury trips, which we used to do. Like, let's go to London and then go to Paris in September. And then between that, let's go to Marbella, see the gang there, and then just go to Cannes and meet the rest. Just make sure we have the same bags, the nice luxury cars, and we're still fancy people. We're just trying to prove that we're still where we're supposed to be. So no, I have to go and show my face in these cities. So people have to see me there, because then they know I am one of them.
It's really sad.
Very sad. It's very sad to a point where I feel that I'm ashamed of myself. When I used to think that way, at least. By the way, you don't do it intentionally, but it integrates in you to a point where you don't feel it anymore. Yeah. You just do it because that's the norm. That's you're numb to it. You're numb to it. Yeah. And it's ugh. I feel ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. and all you can do is pray that people realize that life is too short for you to do something that you aren't happy doing.
Yeah.
Whether it's profession or where you summer.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of anything more depressing than going someplace on summer, because that's where you have to show your face.
Yeah. It just becomes part of you. You don't really intentionally do it, but you grew up. You grew up with that mentality, that, oh no, of course we're going to the same places where we see our people and people see us, and hey, we're with the crowd. Yeah. You follow the Jones, right?
When you touched on materialism, I mean, you hear it time and time again, invest in experiences and not material things.
Of course.
Really. I could take my kids to the toy shop. By the time they're 18, I would have probably taken them, say, 50 times. They're not going to remember a single one. But I took my 7-year-old now, I took him to Abha when he was 4 for a couple of days down south in Saudi, for those who don't know Abha. And it's a lot different to where we live, which is more deserty, beach, sand and all that. And over there, it's like greenery and just gorgeous. But that change of environment was an experience for him that 3 years removed from that trip, he asks me, Are we going back to Abha anytime soon?
It's amazing.
He wouldn't remember a single toy I would have ever bought him, but he'll
Yeah.
remember the experience.
Yeah.
Invest in experiences and not material
Not
things.
material things. Yeah, I'm into that.
Right.
Big time. Yeah, I agree. So, I love a shata. I love Suq shata. I'm always there. Okay. So I go with my flip-flops and I don't wear abaya. I stopped wearing abaya like 4 or 5 years ago. So I go with my jeans, just holding my hair or with my cap or whatever. So, and that day I met a person, because usually with my cap and sometimes I wear a mask. Since COVID, I'm kind of like, I'm superstitious and all. And she saw me and she's like, are you who I think you are? I'm like, it depends who you think I am. And she's like,
Great answer.
And she's like, you are the actress. I can't remember Reem. And I'm like, yes, I am. She's like, so hi pictures, okay. Went back home, started getting messages on my Instagram. Like, oh, my picture with her. She kind of tagged me or whatever. And I'm like, and people are writing, Reem Al Habib goes to Shati? I saw Reem Al Habib في الشاطئ. And some people are saying, طلعت تشتري من الرخيص. And just that, those messages tell me a lot of where we are in terms of mindset as a society. If you're an actress, you're not allowed to be normal.
You're not allowed to buy from a retail outlet, for
No.
those who don't know what Suq al-Shati is.
Yeah, it's a retail outlet.
Sad, really.
But I don't know why. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Shati has a lot of nice things. Why is buying reasonable priced stuff should be shameful?
Conditioned to believe that.
Yeah, why is it shameful? What's the problem with getting a nice bag I saw, or a hat, or a bathing suit, or a set of earrings from a small shop, from a discounted basket? What is wrong with that? Like, I can't really put my hands on it. What could be the problem with things that are not brand and not expensive? It's not like a 3-digit thing. What's wrong? What happened to condition us to that? Where did we go wrong?
Yeah. When has it been normalized to you must spend because you have?
Normal is not good anymore. Normal is scary. Normal? No. I am anything but normal. Normal is medicated.
Yeah.
Normal is obese. Oh, it's normal. He's a teenager. He'll get out of it, right? And then when he's diagnosed with diabetes too, what's normal about that? Normal is anxiety. Look at me and you talking about it.
Yeah.
Normal. Who doesn't, right? Normal is panic attack. Normal is 7-8 hours of screen time for the kids.
Terrible.
Normal is not playing in the dust so you won't get dirty, and not playing in gardens and ew. Normal is to always be in shoe and not to walk barefoot in nature. Ew. It's disgusting.
Normal is to be sick at 70.
Normal is to be sick. Normal is very scary. Normal is to be socially anxious. That's normal. Normal is not to say your opinion. Normal is to go to a job you hate. Everyone, almost everyone I know, hates their job. Almost everyone. Can you imagine? Like, look at people around you. I bet you 98% of them doing what they don't like.
Yeah. No question about that.
No question.
No question.
But guess what? That's normal.
Normal's terrifying.
It's very terrifying. Normal is terrifying. You should be afraid of normal. Normal is nothing but nothing normal about normal today.
Nothing normal about normal. Are you easy to deal with on stage? On set, rather.
Depends.
On
The person who's dealing with me. But in general, yes, I am.
the director, typically.
Oh,
Or the
no,
producer.
I'm great with directors and producers. You would only face an issue if they are insecure or if they're intimidated. So, okay, let me put it this way. So I'm very easy to deal with in general, except for those who are non-professional, who don't know their job. Because then they're either treating you in a weird way and they don't know professionalism. They're either not sticking to what they promised you and sticking up to what they said, or they violated the contract, or they did not apply to what we agreed upon. So that's when things are not that smooth.
Are you met with the ones who are professional or the ones who aren't professional more?
Just sorry, come again?
Which one of the two do you see more often? Those who are professional come prepared, or the latter, or the contrary, rather?
No, but most of the people, at least, even if they're not like really professional, but they really respect me and they're so nice and sweet, and we just deal greatly together. Like I don't have a problem really with anyone.
Is it your number one happy place when you are shooting?
No.
When do you feel most alive?
Most alive with my kids.
Doing whatever it is.
Whatever it is, just looking at their faces. Just when Rimah smiles, like when I call his name and he turns and he smiles, I'm done.
Nothing else matters.
That's everything is okay.
Are you ever away for them on shoots for months on months?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long for?
But I really work very hard to actually not stay away from home more than 2 weeks without a weekend visit. I actually turned down a 9-month project, a huge project that took place in Riyadh, because it's a 9-month project. I just turned it down because of my boys.
Wow. That's a long time, though, 9 months.
Yeah. Even though they really tried and they were very supportive and they were like, we will give you a week, we will give you a few days every 3 weeks. That didn't cut it for me.
Mm-hmm.
My kids came first.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a real conundrum, huh? Mommy guilt. It's not even mommy guilt. It's like something you don't even think twice about.
No. It's not. I don't even feel guilt.
Yeah,
it's like given.
It's like, yeah, done.
Done. But I know a lot of actresses who are moms, and they don't give rat shit. Like they're around and they're on sets and their kids are with their moms and even breastfeeding, and they just leave them. They're cool about it. But for me, it's not even. It's not a question. I don't ask myself twice. It's a no. If this project is going to take me from my kids without short visits every 2 weeks minimum, it's not for me. No matter what type of project this is.
I have so much respect for that.
Yeah. Well, in certain cases, some would actually, so I don't want them to mistake it now, because some would actually offer to, no, it's okay. We'll get you an accommodation big enough where you can have your kids and the nanny come over and stay with you in whatever city you're shooting in. That's okay. That's cool. I would. Even if they don't offer. I mean, if I thought that it's, let's say, there's a film I'm shooting in Turkey, for example, and I'm already going there anyway, so it's 3 weeks there or 4 weeks, and the kids would come because it's vacation, no schooling, I'll take them with me and we'll stay there. I have few people who I refuse to work with. Like even if I got few projects with them, I said, no, thank you. I refuse the project altogether. Because I don't know how to put a fake face. That would actually affect my acting.
It's not your style.
No. I don't fake anything for the sake of the check at the end of the day. Not me.
Has your bluntness or straightforwardness ever got you into hot water?
Straight up like that, no. But I hear it from the back. Like, I hear it like, Reem, you don't want to deal with her.
It's like I watch a lot of basketball, and the players who typically get into trouble the most, the refs are always looking at them, and maybe something that they didn't deserve to be like a yellow card, they'll get it because of the reputation.
Yeah. So I have my decent reputation. Again, but only with those who are very intimidated by me. So it's very funny. A producer spoke to me a couple of days ago, and she was like, listen, we have a show and stuff, and then like 25 minutes throughout the phone call, she was like, oh my God, it's nothing like what they said. And I'm like, oh, they told you? I don't even know who she's talking about, but I kind of figured. It's like a go figure, and I was like, oh, they told you too? And she's like, yeah, they were saying you're tough, you're hard to deal with. And I'm like, oh, and you're strong. And I'm like, well, listen, all the things you said, I don't see them as a negative thing. Being strong, I'm not ashamed of that. Hard to deal with? Nah, that's only by people who are weak or not professional or intimidated by me. That's not on me, but it's not hard to deal with me. You tell me 1, 2, 3, and I tell you I want 1, 2, 3, and you agree, you stick to that. You don't stick to that, you're gonna have me a hard time dealing with. But other than that, no, it shouldn't be. And she's like, no, what you're asking is fair. What you're saying is so professional. You're a very great professional person. She kind of changed her mind about it.
You give it to people straight because you don't have time to go around in circles and jamil. What's in English? What's jamil? To
compliments.
Just more like tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And then you'll tell people behind the person's back what you really meant, but it's not your style either.
It's not about I have no time. It's like there is no reason. There is no reason for me to be anything but myself. That's a very valuable cost, to get out of myself for anyone. It's out of my cost. It's too expensive.
Words to live by.
Yeah, it's very expensive to get out of my way and out of my comfort and out of what I truly feel and heard of, just to please someone that doesn't even, I probably won't even know. So no, it's not really about that I don't have time or I don't have the effort or the tolerance or I grew on that. No. It's really about that. No one is worth me keeping how I feel truly into myself.
I get most frustrated with myself these days when I find myself not being myself in a circumstance or a situation. Why did I say yes to that?
Yeah.
Why am I acting different? Why am I not being myself? I think it was Hayya Sawan who said, watch who you are able to be yourself around.
Yeah.
That spoke to me big time.
But see, the thing is, I'm not a people's pleaser. And maybe that helped me a lot.
I am. Was.
Yeah. It's not easy to get over it, by the way.
It's shitty.
It's embedded in you. It would really take a lot of work from you to get over it. It's not easy.
People pleasing, non-confrontational.
But yeah,
I hate it.
It's a package. They come together.
Yeah.
It's a package. They come together, and it's very, very, very downgrading to you, and it takes you to places, very dark places. Yeah. Very, very.
I think that's where you need to unlearn things.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a childhood stigma or complexity.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I was never that person in that context. I'm sure we wanted to please someone, one way or the other, but I wasn't a pleaser. Mm-hmm. It wasn't in my character, so maybe that helped as well.
One of your sons is autistic. Habibi, do you think going through such difficulty or challenges made you a stronger person? First of all, how difficult or challenging was it? And then we can talk about, how much stronger that made you as a person.
When I knew, I was torn. Let me put it this way. When I decided to get out of my denial and I accepted, I was torn. But my love to him and what he told me repaired me in gold. Like there's this Japanese vase that usually when it's broken, they believe that you repair it with gold. I was repaired with gold after I was torn completely. So was it hard? Yes, it was extremely hard. The whole journey was, you being a parent alone, just a parent, is a troll. You being a parent to a child on the spectrum is another level, completely another level of parenting.
Yeah.
With everything, emotions, struggles, society struggles, bullying, services in the country, life, understanding, family, acceptance, people's eyes. So you go through everything possible. When you have a child on the spectrum, it's like you are being tamed by the world. Literally. It's not easy. It never gets easy.
I think it's twice as hard as regular parenting.
I think it's more than twice as hard.
More than twice, huh?
Yeah, more than twice as hard. Yeah. Life is, it's just it's a continuous journey. It's not a journey that's going to stop when they're 6. It's not a journey that's going to get easier when he's 7. It's not a journey that's going to get easier when he's 17. It's a life journey. Mm. It's a life journey.
Did it change you as a person?
Yeah. I had zero patience. I wasn't a patient person at all. I was like, not waiting. Forget it. I'm not doing it. I'm not waiting. I'm not being in the queue. I'm not going. It's too crowded. No patience. Now, dude, I'm like a Wazagura guru. I swear to God. It's like, you can put me in the Tibet and I am like a solid iceberg.
That's some silver lining for you.
Yeah, it is. It is. I gained patience. I knew what true love, unconditional love is all about. I knew when they say you fight for someone. You hear it.
Yeah.
You just hear it. I fight for them. They fought for. But the word I would fight for him, you understand it when you have a child with autism. You fight because you're doing everything on his behalf. He can't. See, the funny thing is a lot of people think that autism is a disease. Autism is not a disease. Autism is a mental status. Their brains are wired differently. They're not sick. So I hate it when people say, Allah yashfilik huwa, Allah yahafilik huwa. He's not sick. If he's sick, he'll take medication, he'll be okay. Or, la samahallah, if he's very sick, God forbid, they die, right? So that's disease.
Yeah.
But there is no disease like they are wired differently. They think, the perspective of life and people is completely different. So you're always fighting for him. You're like his front line. You're the warrior that never gets tired for your child. That's dealing with autism, but it changed me completely. I know how to love more. I know how to give more. I became more of a giver. Everything after Rimah became non-linear. So I kind of like see through things. It's like he gave me special powers. I can see people from the first time I meet them, I can see how they are, what they are. It's like you became too transparent soul-wise. Your soul is just too transparent, and it's amazing.
You got that from that experience.
Yes.
Yeah, from him.
Yes, from him. Yeah, he taught me that.
Is he your second or first child?
No, he's my second.
He's your second child.
Yeah, Rawh is my eldest. Rawh is my buddy, my backbone.
I'm sure he helps out a lot as well.
Oh, he's so hanoun. Yeah, Rawh is a very loving brother, very caring, very wise. MashaAllah alayhi, very wise for his age. He's 14 and he's very, very deep and very, very wise. We're best friends. Like, we travel a lot. We travel, just me and Rawh. Like, let's get pick bags. What, Mom? Let's go for the weekend. Yeah, let's go to Istanbul. Let's go skiing. We're friends.
People think that parents and children is one-way communication and it's just you teaching them. But you'd be surprised how much, as you just said, they'll be teaching you things about yourself.
Definitely. Definitely.
Patience.
Actually, they'll teach you more than you teach them.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Because throughout the journey with them, you'll be learning because of them.
Yeah.
So they'll be teaching you and you'll be learning throughout the journey. So I think, yeah, you'll learn more.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Any regrets? Do you carry any regrets today from anything you've been through in life?
No. I'm not a person that regrets, really.
It's healthy.
No. So I either did well in the decision I made. I enjoyed it. But if I don't, I own it. I like to own my mistakes. I don't blame it on anything. I don't blame it on circumstances. I don't blame it on people. I don't say, oh, because he was like that, maybe the relationship didn't work out, or maybe because... No. I own it and move on. It's just, I'm not a regretful person, really.
It's a healthy way to live.
Yeah.
Telling yourself that everything is your fault, that you've been through your childhood or relationship with parents, saying that, it's on me, it's not on them, is a very untoxic way to operate.
Yeah, because when you blame the surrounding, you will never find the inner problem you have.
That's it. That is exactly it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You will just live under this bubble that you're a victim, and I hate the victim personalities. I can't victimize myself. So no, I effed up here, I'll take it.
Yeah. And the victim personality or mentality has become a lot more noticeable in society today.
Yeah, because it's an easy run out.
Yeah.
It takes confrontation.
It does. It does
takes confrontation to yourself, and that's even worse.
Yeah.
It's tougher. It's okay to confront someone and put it on them and fight with them and say it's you. But when you look at yourself up in the mirror and say it's you, own it.
Accountability.
Yeah. Own it. You did it. Own it. Actually, it's very healthy, because even those enemies, they can't come say, you did it. I owned it already. Yeah. I don't give you the pleasure to point fingers on me. I know I did.
You become bulletproof.
Yeah, you become really bulletproof. So it's on you. It's not on anyone now. So yeah, regrets? Nah. Well, I regret I didn't eat caviar since I was young.
How about the type of people you'll never tolerate? I'll go first. A narcissist.
Number 1, stupidity. I really, no, I know it's funny.
It's like a phobia, huh?
No, I have, you will see me getting really pissed when someone stupid talks to me. It gets on my nerves. Yeah, like if I'm, just shoot me, please. Get it over with. I really can't take stupid people. It's sometimes it's bad, because that's really what their minds can go. But I look at them and I'm like, what should I do? Kill you? Hit you? What do I do with you? So I can't tolerate stupid people to start with. And I can't tolerate Hypocrites. Ooh. The ones that, hi, Reem, how are you? I miss you. And you know she's been stabbing your back for the past 2
Those are
years.
the worst.
Oh, my God. And you know what I do? These people, I tell them in their face what they did.
Amazing.
So she comes, Reem, hi. I was like, Reem, hi. Well, you said about me last week.
Amazing.
What? Me? And I'm like, come on.
Do they shrivel like a
Cut
grape?
it. Yeah, they do. And they just disappear and I never see them. And that's the point. Because if you keep saying, oh, hi, even if you're trying to just let it slide, they will keep popping, thinking that you're stupid enough that you don't know. Yeah. But no, I like to confront them with their flaws and, hey, you want to accept it and apologize and own it and fix yourself and be, have balls to just apologize or just get the hell out of my face. Just get out of my life. I always say it's in Arabic. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. I don't want to collect stamps. I don't want to collect stamps. Why do I need you just an extra number on my 1,000 contact list? I don't need that.
It must feel so good when you call someone out on their bullshit.
Oh, yeah, I can't. I love calling people out on their bullshit. I enjoy it. It's like a profession I want to take. It's like, come here, I just love it. Yeah, I can't.
Because these people aren't used to being called out. So when they have that 1 in 1,000 person who does call them out, it's like, oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. It's very joyful.
Yeah. Too many of those. Happier with age?
I have this whole philosophy on happiness. There is no happy in the context that we know. So there is no full happiness. So I really find it difficult to say that I'm happy or you are happy, because happy is oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. It's hormones. So you're happy and you're highs, and then there are lows. And if you don't get the lows, you don't get these highs.
Absolutely.
Happiness is a state of mind when you're I'm happy. You can't be there all the time. It's not even healthy. It's too stimuli. You need to be at peace. You need to be content. You need to be in gratitude. You need to be at bliss. You need to be less agitated throughout the day. That is a mind state, or a state of mind. That is what you can control your mind to be in a good place, if you may. And then something really bad happens, or gets you anxious, or you get angry or whatever, and you go low. And then after that, someone gives you a call and tell you, oh, you got that thing that you're looking for. And then you go up there, and that's human. We're not meant to be happy all the time. If you're happy all the time, you're considered not okay, or you are not okay, because the mind cannot stay in that state for so long. And if you're too low and sad, you're depressed. So the extreme highs and lows are not healthy. So
we should fluctuate.
Yes.
Feel the feelings. You always hear.
Yeah, feel the feelings. Cry when you want to cry. Smile when you want to smile. Take it out when you want to. Cocoon yourself if you want to, a day or two. It's good. I always say, if you can't tolerate your own company, don't complain if someone else can't. You need to be okay staying with yourself alone. Have this just you time, and be at peace. Be at peace. And then you'll be happy and sad and maybe angry and maybe anxious and then happy again. And so I think they're emotions. Even kids, like little babies, you don't see them all the time. They're not all the time like that because they're humans. You say, what's wrong with my kid today? He's like, and he's not in the mood. He's just sitting in the corner. So it's just normal. I think we go through these highs and lows through our day. So yeah, just be at peace, be content, be at bliss, be thankful for what you have, and be aware. Live the moment. Live the moment.
And let go of the things you can't control. Right?
I'm such a control freak. It got me so anxious being controlled.
Till today?
No. Oh, I'm not. I am way better. I'm not perfectly sober from being a control freak, but I don't consider myself a control freak today. I'm normal.
It came with patience, right?
Yeah.
As your patience started to take effect.
Yeah, of course. It's with a lot of your mental. The more you stabilize your mental thoughts, the better everything goes, because it's like two strings from the side. If this one was pulled too much, everything shifts this area and this one. So if you kind of stabilize, everything will stabilize. So there will be a coherent balance between them all, I guess.
Yeah. One of the biggest issues you see today through social media is comparison. And it's been said that social media is a tool of comparison. How many likes, how many comments, how many followers did that person get? And it really is the thief of joy.
It is. It is.
And it's just a grim picture that our kids grow up in a world where they're integrated to social media from as soon as they can get a phone. We didn't have it until we were how many years old?
No. I think our phones in our 20s, right?
Around that, yeah.
Yeah.
But then Instagram when I was, I think, 28, 30, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But these guys, are integrated into the system from the get-go.
Yeah. Which is sad.
It is. It's worrying.
Very worrying. Very worrying. And no matter how much control you put into that, you still feel like, okay, so what's the alternative? So I take a phone from him, but what do I ask him? Where do I ask him to go? To the woods? Not really.
Yeah.
Like I say, okay, there's no playing. You're staying on the phone for too long. You're gaming too long. And then Rauh goes, okay, mama. Okay, fine. Okay, here you go. Where do I go? What do I do? Malls? Eating? So malls and restaurants? Really? What do they have? You can't ask them to stay in these gardens that unfortunately I'm taking care of in the neighborhoods. And what do you do? And the weather? So where do they go?
Yeah.
It's a very, very hard equation to really tackle with our kids and social media.
That's where sports is really important, getting involved in whether it's paddle or football, but outdoor.
Yeah.
I know the weather doesn't help, but I'm glad to see paddle taken over because that's...
like paddle is right. There's a paddle right next to my house.
Yeah. Says everyone.
I know, right?
It's good. It's good. I mean...
It's good.
Running and getting some endorphins and breaking a sweat is crucial.
Crucial.
Because it's just going to be from screen to screen. If we don't enforce it on our son, he's going to go from... Doesn't have a phone, 7, doesn't have a phone, but from iPad to PlayStation to a bit of YouTube.
Yeah.
It's just a merry-go-round, like a cycle. Vicious one, too.
Vicious one.
Have you ever been asked, or do you have an answer for, what do you want to be remembered for?
Okay, let's be very realistic about this. But in 100 years, nobody will remember anyone, unless they were someone really significant. Like you need to be historical. You need to be Guevara. You need to be Nelson Mandela. You need to be Mohammed bin Salman. You need to be someone. You need to be a bad person, Netanyahu. You need to be someone, right?
For the history books.
For the history books to study, to read, but I mean, even the best actors in the world, they will only be remembered when it's necessary to talk about them.
Yeah.
Or a great director or an amazing actor. You don't just remember him all the time. So I really never thought of it as a thing. But I just want to be remembered for around, at least for a short time after we're dead, that I made a change.
Yeah. I mean, you did. You one of the early movers in the industry of acting, and still active today.
Yeah.
And it's nothing like what it was when you started. And
No.
you're very happy doing it. So
Yep. So I think it's just that we did change. We did a change, you know, a good change.
and an example for many other females who want to pursue a career in acting, and for them to be told that it's okay to do so because you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Paved the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did, I guess. We don't know it, I think, because we're in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's only the people who are out of it who knows.
Yeah.
For us, we say, what did we do? I don't know.
And we don't see ourselves.
No, what? I acted, so? Yeah. We don't really see it that deep.
Mm-hmm. I like my hypothetical questions, and I try to insert one at the end of every episode. And this is actually one that I haven't used in a while, which is choose 3 people that are alive from history who you would invite to a very exclusive dinner party.
Okay.
Take your time.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive, yeah. I'm very interested in her answer.
Dead or alive for dinner.
Appetizers, dinner, then it'll be dessert, and some tea.
Caviar.
So it's like caviar.
Aperitifs. Okay.
It's like a 3-hour dinner affair.
Ooh.
So you get your time. You get like an hour with everyone.
That's good time. King Faisal. Yeah, King Faisal.
My mom tells me a lot about him.
I know.
She's like, you missed out on this guy.
No, he's a legend.
I was born in 1983. He was assassinated in...
Yeah. 80, right? No, he was assassinated in 78.
78.
78. I think. Can you double check?
Well, he was assassinated in 75, March 25th. 75. I know about the oil embargo and how he didn't take...
I love those pictures.
Yeah.
I love those pictures. I keep showing it to Roh. Look what happened. Look what we did.
He didn't take any shit from anyone.
No. So going back to the table. King Faisal, Guevara, Che Guevara.
Can you just give me a little bit more of his story?
Che?
Cuba?
Yeah. What I love about him is how revolutionary he was, how he believed in his people, how he believed in Cubans, how he believed against the corrupt system. He stood up for his people, and he tried to make the best out of it. So I love Che Guevara. I really love his thinking. I love where he was going with. I love the idea that he stuck to what he believed in. I love that, and he made that change. So King Faisal, Che, and
Do you know how old Che was when he died?
he was very young.
39.
39, yes. He was very, very young. And Mihlail, Nabi Mihlail. So he's...
One second, the last person.
The Prophet Mihlail.
I'm going to look so stupid, but
No, it's okay.
I don't think I've come across this one.
Yes, I know. I'm very much. I went into this era of my life where I really needed to prove a lot of things in religion for myself. So I had disbelief of everything, except God. But I had a disbelief. What's going on with the Sunnah? What's happening with Shia? And why do we have Sunnah? Why do we have Shia? And what's with Christianity? And what's happening with Judaism? And I went into that wave of trying to know more. So I came across in the book The Beginnings and the Ends, Al-Bidaya wa Nihaya, And there is one of the amazing, very, very, very ancient prophets like Gabriel and all that. His name is Mihlail. And every creature on the planet used to fear him when he came down to the ground. He was a very fearful, but he had a lot of fairness. He was very fair prophet, but everyone feared him because he was so fair that no one at his era had any unfairness. So because I love fairness, I would have loved to sit with him.
He was known for his fairness, huh?
Yes. And strength.
Ah.
Yeah, two difficult traits to be together.
You know what I love about your list is that they complement each other. Each person comes from a completely different world,
I know, right?
including you. Now there's a wall I'd like to be a fly on.
Oh, yeah? Okay, I want to.
That's amazing. That's
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Reem, for
you,
coming on and sharing your story with me. I mean, we forgot to talk about your gardening, which is another thing that you do.
Yeah,
Do
that's...
you practice? Do you have a
do.
garden and you
I do.
cultivate it?
I
and
do.
You,
I do. I have a garden. I have a greenhouse. I have chickens. I have my own organic eggs
that's amazing.
from my garden. I grow my own food. Most of the greenery, the leaves and the leafy greens and the vegetables, I get them from my garden.
Farm to table.
Yeah, farm to table.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm into that world, you know, of I'm so interested now in green Saudi, green Riyadh. Like I'm interested to be part of that. I would love to. It's one of the things I really love. Gardening is a thing.
Yeah, it's therapeutic.
Very therapeutic, very healing, very healthy. No matter what you do, if you're a gardener, you're never poor. Never.
Yeah, there's always something on the way.
There's always something on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one can take that from you. I mean, if something happens and things collapses in the world, only those who garden who won't die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can feed your family.
Yeah. No production line needed.
You're the only person who can survive.
Yeah.
In the times like an eucalyptus or something. You're the only one who's capable of surviving. Those who know how to garden and feed their people.
Quite an important skill to learn.
Very.
Yeah.
You don't think about it that way, but it is. It's very crucial.
Yeah.
It's crucial. It's important for schools, I think, to teach you how to garden, how to be self-sufficient. It's very important to be, not only to live as a consumer.
Yeah. As a
Yeah.
not creator, but
Not a creator, but it's more like
a source.
It's a source. It's more like self-sufficient. You're just self-sufficient. No one can take that away from you.
Hits on sustainability as
Yeah,
well.
sustainability.
Yeah.
It is sustainability.
You literally have a supermarket in your backyard.
Oh yeah. Like when COVID happens and things were going and stuff, I had no problems. My cherry tomatoes were out in the garden, my chards, my kales, my herbs. I had no problem. Yeah, people were like, "Oh, how are we gonna get stuff from the market?" And I'm like, "Oh, don't know about you."
Sounds like a you problem.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
Ooh, potatoes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
You're an
Thank you.
inspiration. Your authenticity is just is unmatched, صراحة. And we can learn a lot from you in the way you carry yourself, the way you have no problem telling people how you feel, the way how it's okay to confront people when it's time to confront and not be a people pleaser. So I know I learned a lot from this episode.
Thank you.
And wishing
pleasure.
you all the best. We're fans, by the way, of everything you do.
Pleasure, Habibi.
All the best.
You too.
Thank you, Reem.
Thank you, Faisal.
Thank you, Faisal.
Yeah, behind the scenes, Faisal.
Behind the scenes.
No one sees Faisal, guys. I get to see him. Having those collagen boosting vitamins and minerals in your skin, male or female.
How about Botox?
I'm not, well, I think Botox is very helpful in so many. I'm not talking about that look at all. Nope, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Botox.
I couldn't get the face out. I couldn't get her face out of my mouth. Oh, I haven't laughed like this in months.
Oh my God.
Reem, it's the best medicine, I swear. I'm tearing.
We have to put this behind the scenes. هذا ما يشغل ولا شيء. استغفر الله يا ربي. I saw him.
Kill me.
I thought he was trying to hold himself.
Kill me. I let you breathe.
Oh,
Wallahi, the last 2 weeks, Reem, I don't know why. Anxiety, a few panic attacks. I think this is the medicine I was looking for. I think it's flushed out of my system. She's like this. Yeah, right. Oh, thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Well,
The best natural medicine. Natural.
that's integrated.
Natural. That's integrative. Oh my God.